You are listening to the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast with Amanda Karlstad, episode number 275. Welcome to the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast, a show for coaches who are ready to up-level their business and take their impact, leadership, and results to $1 million level and beyond. If you're ready to break through your limitations and start taking powerful action and become the seven-figure version of you that your business needs in order to grow, scale, and thrive, this show is for you. I'm your host, Amanda Karlstad, master coach, high-level business mentor and advisor, master intuitive, and business growth and scaling expert. Let's get down to business. Hello and welcome, everyone. I hope you're well and healthy and safe. Before I dive in today, I just want to send big love to those of you who might be impacted by the California wildfires, watching the footage and seeing the impact of these fires. It really feels incomprehensible. And when I look at the devastation, which I know that I can't even fully comprehend, not physically even being there. And also talking with one of my clients who chose to evacuate, whose home was very close to one of the fires, and as a result decided to evacuate. And just watching interview after interview from those that are impacted, it really just feels so incomprehensible. And I just want you to know that my thoughts, my prayers, all of that is with you. And if you're listening and have been impacted, I'm just sending you so much love and strength and peace during this time. All right, so let's dive in. What I want to talk to you all about today is something that has been on my mind for the past few weeks, and I've been thinking a lot about it. And I think it's a really important conversation in the context of business. And that is your ability to break your ceilings and grow your capacity throughout your journey of growing and scaling your business. And this is a concept that I've talked about before. I've talked about it in a few different ways, but I want to have a conversation today and really bring this back to your awareness, because when I think about my own journey and the journey of so many of my clients, and especially my clients who have made really extraordinary quantum leaps in their businesses, it really comes down to this concept of being able to break through your ceilings, those self-imposed limitations that you may or may not be aware of. And from that, being able to then grow your capacity as a result of that breakthrough, which then helps to really facilitate that growth, that external growth that you then see as a result in the business. And so one of the things that happens in this journey that you've probably heard before, that I know I've said many times in previous episodes, is that as you're on the journey of growing and scaling your business, as you do the powerful inner work, as a result, you will start to see the result of that in your external result. In fact, I have come to learn, and I fully believe, that your business is very much a mirror of you, meaning so much of what you see in your business right now is, if you got really present to what is going on with you, and if you really started to look at the patterns, you're going to notice that there's some really interesting patterns and results that you probably see. And the reason for this is that your growth, or even your lack of growth at the end of the day, will come down to your psychology. It will come down to who you are being. And the effect of that will be shown in your results, which this is why I will just say, when I look back at 2024 and I look at the fact that the majority of our clients in both of our mastermind programs, the majority of those clients have experienced their best years in business. And the truth is that there's a lot of coaches in the coaching industry that actually experienced the opposite, that actually experienced maybe more of a decline, or business in general was kind of going backwards maybe a little bit. So 2024 was a pretty tough year for many business owners. I know I've had several conversations with very high level industry leaders that have really experienced some challenging times in 2024, both inside and also outside of the coaching industry. And when I step back and I really look at why is that, it really does come back to what we're talking about here today. The concept of this conversation, the concept of being able to break your ceilings and grow your capacity isn't just a nice philosophy. It's not just nice in theory. It's actually the solution. It's a huge part of the puzzle piece in you being able to grow and scale your business to the level that you want. So if you ask yourself, or if I were to ask you, how was 2024 for you? And for many of you, you may tell me that 2024 was maybe not what you had anticipated, that maybe it wasn't what you initially intended, or maybe it was where it wasn't that bad. Maybe it was okay. Or maybe 2024 was actually a great year for you, and you're really riding that momentum into 2025. No matter where you fall, I also know that you're ready for a new level. And the key lies in what we're talking about here today, and to what degree you're actively working to break your ceilings and grow your capacity. So let's talk about what this can tangibly look like. Now, I know we have coaches from all around the world who listen to this show, which is just so amazing. I think about all of the time how amazing it is to really reach all of you all around the globe. And I also know that we have coaches that are in different phases of their business. But ultimately, you want to grow your business to 7 figures and beyond and really offer highly transformational, highly impactful coaching programs. And you also have a desire to be highly profitable. And so no matter what level you're at, you're likely hitting up against a ceiling somewhere, even if you've hit that 7-figure mark or beyond. Even if you are working to take things to a multi-6-figure level, the chances of you hitting a ceiling at some point or right now experiencing that, whether you see it or not, I will tell you the odds of that are 100%. And I say this with full conviction because I've experienced this myself. And I've also had the ability to coach hundreds and hundreds of coaches in their journey, in the process of taking their business from where it is to where they want to go. And with every scenario, there are going to be ceilings that you will reach, that you will be up against, that you will face, where you have a choice to either do the work and to break through whatever ceiling that might be for you or not. And the result of choosing not to is typically going to mean you're going to stay exactly where you are, or you may even experience some decline. And so this is really important right now, especially as I look at the landscape of the coaching industry. And some of you listening right now, hey, I want to acknowledge you might feel a little beat up right now in the moment. You might feel like you're questioning what's next. And if that's you, I want this conversation to serve as a catalyst for you, to help you take a look at and to intentionally choose to move forward from a place of intention where you intentionally choose to move forward from an empowered place, where you recognize that you are the one. You are the one that holds your next level in your hands. And it's also up to you to truly face what it is you need to face, to look at whatever limitations you're up against in the eye, and to choose how you want to move forward. And for most coaches, and I would include myself in this is why I have intentionally made the decision to always have a coach, to always be in mentorship to some degree, to have advisors in my business who are helping me to see what I can't see. It is so valuable to have this outside perspective, a perspective that is not in the bottle, so to speak, who can see your blind spots, who knows your patterns, who can call you out on things that your brain is probably trying to rationalize to you right now. It's the ability to see these ceilings and these limitations for what they are, and also to not judge them, but to choose intentionally to break through them. One of the ways that I see this show up so often for my clients, especially at the level where a lot of our clients come to work with us, which is where they've built a certain level of success in their business. Usually that looks like, just to give you some context, they're either at or they're very close to that multi-six-figure level in their business. Typically it's around, anywhere from 100, 150,000, 200,000, 250,000, sometimes up to, 500,000, 700,000 and beyond. And what happens at this level is that you start to realize, it will become very clear that what got you to your current level of success, so what got you there, is not what will get you to your next level. Whether that is doubling the business or making a quantum leap to seven figures and beyond, it's very unlikely that what got you to the level of success that you're at is what will actually get you to your next level, which is also why I find this to be a very interesting place for my clients to be in their business. It's a very interesting place to be because for a lot of coaches, there's probably some really great things that are already happening in the business. At this level, you've probably created some really great assets in your business. For example, when it comes to, let's just say, your program, you likely have a pretty solid foundation of your program at this point. You probably are coaching clients in some type of group capacity. Maybe you still are doing some one-on-ones, or maybe you are still coaching one-on-one, but regardless, you have real client results. You have a pretty good track record at this point. You have a high level of confidence in your coaching as far as what works, as far as what helps your clients achieve the results that they want. So ultimately, you've really refined a lot of these things. You've honed your process. You've developed the foundation of your program, at least. You've probably got some really great testimonials. You might have things like a podcast or a YouTube channel or a strong social media presence, or you might even have a book. The truth is that at this level, you have probably been in the game at least long enough where you've got some of these assets in your business. But your problem, and this is the problem that I see is the experience for most coaches that come to work with us when they're at this level, is that you don't have things like your marketing and sales processes dialed in. You don't have the systems that you really need in your business. You likely don't have the support that you need in the business. So things like your team, all of the things in general that have to happen on the back end to serve your clients, your mindset, who you are being in the business is the ceiling that you need to break through in order to go to your next level. Now, of course, there is always a lot of nuance here. This is always going to look very different for each and every business and every coach. But in general, these are all things that you're going to be up against. And for each of those external things that I just mentioned, for example, your marketing, your sales, your systems, your back-end systems, your team, your personal capacity, your personal belief systems about where you're at, about where you're going, about what your next level, quote unquote, needs to be, this is where all the real business growth happens. So it might mean that you need to employ a more consistent and streamlined marketing and sales process in the business in order to then increase your overall sales, your overall revenue. And 10 times out of 10, it will not be just about implementing or copying a new funnel into your business. What it will be is, yes, likely building out some type of funnel, for example, which for most coaches is going to require you to learn and develop and grow new skill sets. It might mean that you learn all of the ins and outs of a funnel. It might mean that you need to learn copywriting at an entirely new level. For many, if not all of the coaches that I work with generally, this is probably going to be one of the first times that you really step into things like paid advertising, for example, where you're really taking serious steps to increase your visibility, to grow your audience, to build your email list. and to really get things like paid funnels working in your business, which is something that we're very, very good at and that we specialize in. So there will be tangible skill sets that your desired growth will require of you. And 100% of the time, as you move through this process, as you're working to implement these things in your business, you will also have a whole host of internal ceilings that will come to the surface, that to the degree that you're looking at these limitations and you're working through and you're attempting to break through, and to the degree that you're effectively then breaking through these ceilings, will 100% of the time dictate the level and the pace at which you grow. And this is why you can have a successful business that looks great on paper. And if you're in the journey of growth in any way, you will also have very real ceilings and capacity blocks that you will have to break through, or your business will not grow to the level that you desire. So my friends, this is why this is so important. This is why you could have the most robust, the best strategy that exists for growing and scaling a coaching business, which is something I'm very passionate about, which is something that I think is very unique in the work that we do, is that we're able to really customize very powerful and potent strategies for our clients. But at the same time, if you then are not willing to walk through, to experience the discomfort of shedding parts of you, of shedding belief systems, of identities that you've held, those strategies are going to do you no good. You will not execute on them. You will not successfully implement them in your business. You will not experience the level and the pace of growth that you truly desire until you break through that which is keeping you at your current level, or maybe even in a decline. So for some of you, it might be intentional. It might be intentional that you've been at the same or similar place in your business. And this is why this level of business can be very, very tricky, because on one hand, you do have a great business. You're making great money. You probably have a level of freedom and flexibility that you haven't experienced before. And so by most accounts, things are actually pretty good. And you're probably pretty profitable at this point as well. But here's what else there is. There's also a yearning. There's also a call that exists inside of you, where you also know that you're not at your capacity yet, where you know that you have another level. And in fact, if we're being honest, you and I both know you probably have more levels than one ahead of you, but you also can't complain. It's at this stage of business that I see the work that we do that is so, so important, because it's very easy to stay in your comfort zone. It's very easy to maintain at this level and to tell yourself that everything is fine and great. And there's also a side of you that really, really desires to go to a new level. So if this is you and you're listening right now, whatever level that is, and you're feeling the call deep inside of you, and it's not going away, it keeps coming back, I want you to take this as a sign that you are ready. That you are ready for a breakthrough, that you are ready to look at the ceilings and the limitations that you have in the eye, and to choose powerfully. And as a result of that, then stepping into your next level. Because my friends, the world needs you, especially right now. As one of my favorite early teachers early on in my journey said, don't die with your music still in you. That was Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I think this is such a powerful frame that you can look through, that where you are right now, that yearning to bring your music to life, where right now, if your audience, the people that are yearning for you to bring your music forth, I invite you to use this episode as a choice point and to choose with intention to bring your music to life. You got this. All right, my friends, have an amazing week. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the $1 Million Coach Business Podcast. If you're ready to step into the $1 million version of yourself and scale your business to 6, multi-6, or 7 figures and beyond, go to amandakarlstadcoaching.com.